Hey guys, Bree and Ro here. Last week we left y'all on a little bit of a cliffhanger on going over the hierarchy of influence. Rosie mentioned that we want to start with our impulse, which is the back of our brain, and then we want to go to our thoughts, which is electrical. But there are two that are in the middle that I wanted to discuss, which are chemical and behavioral patterns. So,
Yep.
Rosie, do we, I guess my real question, sorry, is do we go straight from impulse to thoughts? And what about these other two? Where do they come in?
If you are someone who is very aware of learning and working with people, then you're naturally going to go in the right tier. So whenever I'm talking to someone, I work in a lot of high stake negotiations where people's food and shelter is at stake, right? When you're dealing with people's properties, it's the roof over their head. So very first thing is to make them feel safe and first make them feel safe. That's where the impulse calms down. You address that. Chemical is basically emotions, right? We are a chemical soup. Our neurochemistry decides how we feel. When we get a hug from our mothers, we feel oxytocin, we feel love, right? And we have serotonin, we have dopamine. All these things are chemicals in our body, right? So when I'm talking to someone and I want them to feel understood and connected, so our conversation needs to be led after safety into maybe talking to someone and saying, I'm right here with you. Tell me where you at and I'll meet you there. Just slowing it down and tell me exactly what matters for you will work at the right pace that feels safe and easy. So by saying these little things, we open the doorways for someone to feel trusted with us. Now, once they're safe, now they feel heard, they feel understood. So that is like a trust chemistry in someone. Now you're addressing somebody's chemistry. Then you go into behavior patterns. We all are byproduct of our behavior. Where you and I are the way we are because where we were born, what environment influenced us, and what shaped us as we grow older, and what is our biggest influence today? Are we defaulting into what social media is imprinting on us, or are we consciously choosing what should be imprinting on us? We are byproduct of our environment. And behavior simply means getting to understand someone. How did they become who they are today? And it requires a complete dissolution of assumption around people. If somebody is being hard and difficult, maybe asking, what is it that they're protecting? And why did they become this way? What are they trying to keep safe? So that is behavior patterns. Once we understood these things, then we should talk about, okay, this is what I think based on everything you told me. After spending all this time with you, it becomes natural for me to see that this path forward aligns with your values. And you have every reason, with everything you know now, to consider this moving forward. Now you make a suggestion because you have to go in the right order with people.
And what if you don't know patterns that were formed in childhood for someone? We're going to have to now take a step back and ask the right questions, calibrated questions perhaps, in
Yes.
order to find out this information.
Yes.
But it can still be done at a relatively quick pace. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out process.
It could be a simple question is that, I feel like I rushed through this. Let me just take a step back and ask this one thing that has been on my mind. When you made this decision 6 years ago, what influenced you? How did you arrive at this? What felt right? So I talk about more feelings and patterns because if people will tell you why they made that decision, like I was at an appointment with one of our common clients yesterday, we cannot bring our clients' names, and the right thing was right in front of them to do, but they were not able to decide. And the reason they're not able to decide is because what pattern that has been driving their life was not addressed first. And it's that simple. You just bring it up to the light, you discuss it, and now they feel like they're not diverting from. People want to be consistent, right? And that's what kept us safe. So that pattern drives our decision.
So the first three are like basically it's kind of like impulse is feeling safe, heard is feeling like the behavioral patterns, significant is like the emotions, and then we get to helping them come up with the thought.
Yeah. So impulse is basically safety. Chemical is all emotions. Behavior is all patterns that drive our patterns. And then electricity is just our language and thoughts. That's it.
All right. Well,
You broke the rule again.
we have broken the rule. We are rule breakers, apparently, in this 5-minute series. But we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.